Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm John, the house guy. I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about the process of buying a foreclosure. First things first, what we need to do when you're talking about buying a foreclosure is think about exactly what the plan is for that property, right? If you're buying a foreclosure to live in, if you're buying a foreclosure as an investment property, there's different things that you have to kind of navigate through those waters. So the first step, if you're not investing, if you don't have the cash on hand, if you're really looking to borrow the money and make that a home, the first step is going to be getting pre-approved for a mortgage. Just like a normal home buying process, you want to get pre-approved. Talk to the bank. They're going to want a few things from you. They're going to want your employment verification. They're going to want your credit history. They're going to run a credit report on you. They're going to want the last couple years tax returns so they can verify your income. All that normal stuff. And then whether you buy a foreclosure or a normal listed property from an individual, you'll have a good idea of what you can afford. You'll have a good idea of how much your payments are going to be, how much down payment you're going to have, what the interest rates are, what that's going to cost you over time. And it's just going to be a good start for any home buying, but especially if you're going to try to buy a foreclosure, because a lot of times, if you're buying a foreclosure, these folks that are in charge of selling these, the entities that are in charge of selling these, whether it's the bank or Fannie Mae or HUD or Freddie or whoever it is that's selling the foreclosure, they are going to want to know, first of all, that you have access to the money, because their whole point of what they're doing is to get the house moved as quickly as possible, get it off the books. It's already costing them money to keep it, maintain it, make sure that something doesn't happen to it. So if you go ahead and show them, hey, I've got the money on hand, or I have access to the money, that's going to make your offer that much stronger. The next thing you're going to want to do is make sure you have some down payment money. Now, once you talk to the bank or the lender, whoever it is you're going to use, mortgage broker, then you'll have an idea how much money you're going to have on hand to make the transaction happen, right? So you're going to want to have down payment money. It could be as low as, zero, I guess. In some cases, 3.5 up to 20, depending on what the bank requires. But what you're going to find out too is you're going to have money to do some of these repairs, because 9 times out of 10, a foreclosure is not going to have move-in ready structure or move-in ready finishes. So you're going to have to work on it some, and you're going to need money to do that, because the bank is not going to loan you, or a lender is not going to loan you money to do repairs. In most cases, they're not going to give you extra money. They're going to give you basically what the house is worth, and not even completely what the house is worth. Your down payment is going to help them. So say if they're going to give you 80% of what the house is worth, then you're going to need the other 20%, or depending on what loan program you're using, it may be more than that. But for the most part, you're going to need money to do the repairs, because the bank's just not going to finance you to do the repairs. So you got to look at that. You got to get a good solid understanding of exactly what you would want to have done to the house, and then make sure somehow you got the money to do that, right? The next thing you want to do is just go look, so once you have those couple of things lined up, right? So if you're looking for a foreclosure as this magic bullet that's going to get you in a home really, really cheap and no money down, that's not realistic. What you're going to need is to have the money down. You're going to need to be pre-approved for a mortgage, or know where you're going to get the money from. And then the next phase of that is going to be, let's write up an offer. And writing up those offers is a little bit different when you're dealing with foreclosures than it is with dealing with like the traditional listing, because there are certain rules and certain things that you're going to have to make sure that you abide by. And then a lot of times, because the foreclosures move so fast in our area, because there aren't many, there's just not a ton of foreclosures available in our area. So because they move so quickly, I think the stats are something like in Lauderdale County, 1 in every 3,500 mortgages may foreclose. And then in Colbert County, it's even harder than that. It's like 1 in every 5,000 or something that may foreclose. So you're going to have to be ready to move fast. So having those things that we already talked about, the down payment money, the pre-approval for the mortgage, the repair money, having that stuff is really what's going to help you to go out and get that deal. All right, so then the next part is going to be, we have to craft our offer, right? We're going to look at that paperwork that they require, because it's going to be different from a normal transaction. They're going to require a lot of acceptance of as is, and a lot of waivers, and a lot of different things. And really what you'll see is that paperwork has to be spot on, because everyone is making offers on these houses in such a short period of time. You have to have your stuff together in order for them to even put you in the next round of negotiations and offers. So everybody that gets their paperwork done correctly, everybody that gets everything submitted correctly, that has an offer that is in the ballpark, it's not just an outrageous cheap offer. Everybody that has that is going to go into a next pool, and then they're going to call for final and best. So the final and best offer that you're willing to make, that's the next round. And so then everyone, you don't know what the other people are offering or how many offers there are. You don't know any of that information. You just have to go in and make your final and best offer, whatever it is you're willing to pay for the house. And then submit all that paperwork correctly, make sure that it makes it through the whoever the next level paper pusher is, who's making sure all the boxes are checked. So you want to have your agent, or somebody like me to help you go through that with a fine-tooth comb before it's submitted, but also get that done quickly so that you are within the time frame. So like, just for instance, the last foreclosure that I sold, that house came on the market, and I think we had our offer submitted within 72 hours. I think it was 3 days. I feel pretty confident it was 3 days. And then beyond there, the agent submitted that to the bank. That came back, and then we had 24 hours from there to submit our final and best, because we were in multiple offers. So then my people submitted their final and best offer, and they got it accepted. Then there's a whole other round of paperwork that you have to do. Proof of funding, make sure that you've got your stuff in order, that you don't have any kind of problems that are going to keep you from buying the house and doing the things that you said. They're wanting to do a couple of things. They're wanting to close the house as quickly as possible for the most money possible, and they don't want to waste any time. They don't want to go through any hurdles with waiting on you to get your money, or my retirement account, I got to get some money out of there and it's going to take me 30 days, or that they're really looking for how quick can you close, how much are you going to pay, are you going to do what you said you're going to do. So beyond that, okay, so we've done all that, your offer gets accepted. Now we're off to the races for the next phase. Now the next thing that you would do in a normal real estate transaction is we start doing our inspections, right? We're going to do the inspections and make sure that everything is good, and we're going to ask for some repairs and try to get some things fixed that are supposed to be fixed, and go forward. Well, when you're buying a foreclosure, it just doesn't work that way. I recommend that you get an inspection done, but when you get your inspection done, it's really for your own benefit. At this point, the bank or the lending agency has lost, or the entity, whoever has the house, has lost money on the deal or is losing money on the deal. They are not going to put more money into it just to try to keep you in it, because they just had, most times they've had multiple offers on it. If you want to pick it and mess with it and say, you want to request repairs, that's fine. We'll just sell it to the next person, because we had, lots of people that wanted to buy the house. So that's the next phase. But I do recommend that you get an inspection, just because you want to know if there's anything lurking there that you didn't see on a visual inspection when you walk through the house. You want to know if there's anything lurking or anything that's got, a real big problem that's going to be a deal killer. So I always recommend you get the inspection done just for your own purposes. And so once you have that inspection complete, then we will go forward with the bank. We sign a bunch of other documents saying that we know that it's as is. We're not going to sue them for anything. We're not going to have any trouble down the road if the house falls in on us. 3 days from now, that's our problem. There's a lot of releases that go along with it, and you got to make sure you sign all that stuff and get that done correctly. So you need somebody to help you through that process, and I would be glad to help you do that. We've had a good success rate with buying foreclosures for our own personal investment. We've had good success rate with buying foreclosures for other people, helping them through that process. So just get you somebody that can help you with that. And then the next thing is you just wait. You close it, and then you bought your foreclosure. And when you get that foreclosure bought, then you're going to have repairs to make, right? So then you got to start that process of like getting the house ready. You got to really think about what your living situation is going to be, right? Depending on the state of the foreclosure that you're trying to buy. But if your living situation is where, well, I had to sell my house to move into this house, well, now you got to either live in a construction project or you've got to, stay where you are and get the work done and get it completed before you move in. And so there's a couple of things to kind of consider there as well. So when you're figuring your costs, you may need to figure not only for your repair costs, but for your housing costs while your repairs are being done, because you can't really start any repairs until you close. And then you have a period of time before that first payment is due, but you're going to be making double rent, double utilities, and paying for the remodel or the repairs or whatever it is during that time. So it's not as easy of a process as people tend to think it is. Most people think that you can walk up to the courthouse steps and buy this ready to go foreclosure and get a great deal on it and then move your stuff in over the weekend. And it just doesn't work that way. Just realistically, you need somebody to help you along the way with the process of getting all the paperwork complete, the process of quickly estimating what you're going to be having to put in it beyond the cost of the house, what your repairs and all that are going to be, and then somebody that can get you from start to finish executing that entire thing, right, from the offer to the move-in. That's what we can do. Kim and I really pride ourselves on being able to help people from there, from the real estate transaction all the way through to the design, to the execution of the remodel. And so what I would say is if I can help you, and that sounds like something you want to do, and all that process doesn't sound overwhelming and daunting to you, and you're prepared with those things like your mortgage pre-approval, and you know how much money you're going to have on hand for repairs and all that kind of stuff, then I would say give us a call and let us help you. And now if foreclosure is not for you and you just want to go look at houses and find a house to buy and that's move-in ready, we'll certainly help you there too. But as far as understanding the foreclosure process and what that looks like when you're buying a foreclosure, that's what today's video was about, really. So anyway, if I can help you, give us a call. It's 256-412-1412. I'm John the House Guy. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, anywhere you can follow me, please do. And if I can help you, give me a call, message me, text me, email me, whatever you need to do. And hey, find a foreclosure on that list, or if you want that list, send me a message. I'll send it to you, and then let's go look. Have a great day. God bless.